Hello, welcome back to another video presented by Acuity PPM, where today we're going to answer a commonly misunderstood question. What is a project portfolio manager? But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel because we put out great content that you do not want to miss that will help you manage your portfolio. And with that, let's get started. And we'll begin with the primary roles associated with project management, program management, and portfolio management, and then get into the details of the portfolio manager role. On the project side, clearly the focal point is on the project manager. They are the project leader, guiding the team from planning through execution to completion. They've got oversight of the project. As needed, a project coordinator might be assigned. They're a junior project manager. They will assist the project manager on larger projects. They may run smaller projects. Project administrator is largely tactical, administrative, helping with meetings, potentially budget, various paperwork or other files and so forth needed to support the project team. Program management focuses, of course, on the program manager, program being a set of interrelated projects and work streams that have a common goal or output. Program manager is the program leader, connecting those project teams together, providing higher level oversight for that program. Program administrator, you could consider them a program coordinator. The idea, though, is that they are providing administrative support to the program. They're not managing, quote, smaller programs. They're really supporting the program manager in many of the administrative details of that program. On the portfolio side, the focus of this video is on the portfolio manager, and we'll get into those details shortly. We'll also talk about the portfolio analyst role and the portfolio administrator role. As it relates to the portfolio manager, first and foremost, their responsibility is to manage the portfolio management process. Emphasis on process, to make sure that it runs effectively and smoothly. A portfolio manager is not a direct decision maker. They do not have unilateral decision-making authority for the portfolio. Their responsibility is on the process itself. And this is where the confusion comes in. People illogically translate that a project manager manages projects, program manager manages programs, therefore a portfolio manager must manage portfolios. The portfolio manager has oversight, they're a steward of the portfolio, but they don't have the same level of decision-making authority as the equivalent roles would be for project and program management. The decision-making authority rests with the governance team. The portfolio manager helps facilitate the process. They are the process owner. And the next slide will highlight the various capabilities that the portfolio manager may be responsible for. And so briefly, the portfolio manager, they are the subject matter expert of portfolio management. They're the chief architect and process owner for all the portfolio management processes. And this highlights the various capabilities of portfolio management across the portfolio management lifecycle. We'll spend a little bit of time here because the portfolio manager is heavily involved in all these components. Under define the portfolio, a lot of it has to do with setting up an intake process, identifying what information needs to be captured, how we're going to plan the portfolio. They're heavily involved with resource capacity planning along with the portfolio analyst if an organization is doing that. Portfolio manager would take the lead on portfolio risk management along with portfolio communications. They and the portfolio analyst would spend a lot of time on reports, analytics, other dashboards in order to convey and communicate portfolio value and understand value management. And then finally, they do need to understand the strategic elements or the strategic vision of the organization so that they can further help tie organizational strategy to projects and programs. They will be instrumental in facilitating an optimization of the portfolio, which can often involve a lot of data analysis and providing scenarios or options for the governance team to select. They will work closely with a PMO to monitor project health, aggregating that to a portfolio level health. And then finally, they will be involved with various lessons learned of the portfolio process, potentially with the project management process as well, in order to continuously improve the portfolio and level up the maturity of the portfolio. In addition to this, we've got three other aspects of what a portfolio manager does. They need to be a coach or an educator. Coach to the leadership team, educator to the rest of the organization to convey what portfolio management is. They're an advocate, and they need to be able to convey the processes of portfolio management broadly to the organization. That's one of the elements of communication, as well as support the leadership team that may or may not be well versed in portfolio management. This is a common occurrence. Senior leaders, they're good at what they do, but they may not have much experience in managing a portfolio. Portfolio manager provides great coaching and support to those senior leaders to make better decisions. The portfolio manager also needs to be a communicator. They're communicating out the value of the portfolio, any risks related to the projects or at the portfolio level, the performance, key decisions, along with the portfolio management process that we just talked about. They're communicators. They're communicating up, they're reaching across the organization, supporting and providing information as needed, communicating process. Finally, you consider them a senior portfolio analyst. They need to have good analytic capabilities. They should be able to do detailed portfolio analysis, help develop reports and dashboards, supporting the portfolio governance team, a PMO, helping to oversee the portfolio solution. And so we can look at portfolio operations in light of the portfolio management role, the portfolio analyst role, and the administrator role. We can summarize it in these four areas. That firstly, we're developing process. We've talked about that. Portfolio manager needs to develop process. The portfolio operations really refers to the portfolio team. Larger organizations may have more than one portfolio manager, or they may have a mix of the various roles that we've briefly talked about. But there is a need to develop process, and with that then comes process accountability. We develop the process, we need to ensure that it's being utilized effectively and efficiently in order to get the benefit that we anticipate from those processes. Portfolio management as a management discipline provides a lot of value. But if we do not have someone involved with holding teams accountable for that process, we're really going to lose the value. Then portfolio reporting and analytics, very important. This is a key element. We're collecting the right data at the right time in order to inform senior leaders on how to make better portfolio decisions. That's part of the reason we've got the process is to collect the right data. It's part of the reason we have a PPM tool is to report out and make it easy to access that data, capture key analytics, and communicate that out for better decision making. And then in relation to that, we have to have the data collection with data integrity. And so these four components summarize portfolio operations. And based on that, we can then talk about the other portfolio related roles. We have a portfolio director that may be equivalent to a PMO director. If this organization has more than one portfolio manager, there may be a separate portfolio team, hence a portfolio director. The portfolio manager, as we've discussed, has primary oversight for the portfolio management process, helping to oversee daily operations of the portfolio, and configures and administrates the portfolio system. The portfolio analyst is very involved with data maintenance and integrity, along with analysis and reporting. There may be cases that there's just a lot of data coming in and a single portfolio manager has too much else on their plate, working with the governance team, communicating out on multiple levels, that you need a portfolio analyst that's more dedicated to getting into the data, doing the analysis, developing the reports, maintaining the reports and dashboards, sharing that with the portfolio manager, who then provides the recommendations to the governance team. They too may help administrate a portfolio system. Portfolio administrator is involved with portfolio tracking and data entry. They're definitely more of an entry-level role for portfolio management. They don't have as much of a customer-facing role. They're handling more of the logistics with data collection, scheduling meetings, note-taking as needed. There's a number of facets to that portfolio administrator, but they're definitely the most junior on the team. And this is a brief comparison. Portfolio manager involved primarily with developing process accountability, communication, education, and reporting and analytics. Limited on the actual data collection and logistics. Portfolio analyst, limited responsibility with developing processes. In some cases they might, especially if they're the only portfolio role, then they would support developing processes. If there's a portfolio manager already, their role is probably very limited. There is some process accountability, working with the various teams to ensure that we've got the right data at the right time. Again, resource data is one area where teams can spend a lot of time ensuring that there's a process followed. Same thing with an intake or a stage gate process. Portfolio analysts can help shepherd those requests through the process. Communication education, probably more limited, again, unless they're the face of the portfolio. But if there's already a portfolio manager, then the portfolio analyst would have limited communication education. They're also heavily involved with portfolio reporting and analytics. That's one of their primary areas where they're spending their time. And they do also support data collection and logistics. Portfolio administrators not involved with developing processes. They have limited process accountability, maybe working with the teams to keep status up to date or keeping other data refreshed. Very limited communication, basically no education, but maybe some communication, limited on the portfolio reporting and analytics, but very involved with data collection and logistics. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in getting more information about project portfolio management or how Acuity PPM software can help your team, contact us. Thank you.